my name is Darrell Breeden. I pastor Mountain Moriah Christian Church and I lead Firehouse Ministries in Butler, Kentucky. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about the real problem of society. You know, we have all these ills in our society and in our culture, but they're just symptoms of the real problem. Drugs, alcohol, sexual perversion, just on and on with the greed, the jealousy, all those stuff. They're just symptoms of the real problem. So we should drill down to find the real problem. Drill below those symptoms so that you can see the real problem. And when we drill down, and we'll find the real problem. And that real problem is that God has become an option and not a priority. We've just made him an option. And an option is something that can or cannot be chosen. You will choose it or you don't have to choose it. But when you make God a priority, then you put him first. But when you let God just be an option, then that leaves God out. And that'll leave a God-sized hole in your life that you will fill with all of that junk. Then that becomes the symptoms that you have. You see, drug addiction is just a symptom of a God-sized hole, because you're trying to fill that hole up with stuff other than God, and it just leaves this big gaping hole in your life, and it leaves you dissatisfied, incomplete, it leaves you empty, and then you just keep trying to fill it up with other stuff. And that doesn't work, because then you're just left a very selfish person who's self-centered, who's self-absorbed, and who doesn't have any reason to make a difference in this world. You don't have any reason to be kind or generous. You don't have any reason to be compassionate, because you're always thinking about yourself, because you have this God-sized hole that you're trying to fill. But if you fill this hole up with God, and you let God just seal that hole off with his presence and his power, then you've got hope, you've got peace, you've got joy, you've got love, you've got something to give, you've got something to share, because you have the God-sized hole sealed up. And how do you seal up that God-sized hole? The answer is surrender and submission. When I talk about surrender, I'm talking about yielding possession of yourself over to the power of God. And when we talk about submission, we're talking about yielding to the power and authority of God. So we must pray, because surrender and submission will establish a divine relationship with our Heavenly Father. And then Jesus becomes our example. And if he's our example, then surrender and submission will be what we accomplish. Because Jesus was he sacrificed himself. Jesus was not self-centered, but he was always giving of himself. He always blessed people. He always touched people. And I want you to know something today. If we want this God-sized hole to be sealed off, and we want to quit just producing those symptoms of an ungodly lifestyle, then we have to surrender. We have to yield possession of ourselves over to the power of God, come under his authority, and realize today that his power can work in us, and we can make that difference that we so desire to make. So if you'll go with God, he'll go with you.